Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract more romantic partners than others? It's not that they're necessarily better looking. Although there is a correlation between attractiveness and success in the dating world. But it's also about how you carry yourself, how you interact with people, and what kind of impression you leave on them. This might sound like a lot of pressure, but it doesn't have to be. All we're saying is that if you want to get more dates or have a better chance at finding your soulmate, or someone else worth dating, then keep watching. These are the 5 psychological things that make you less attractive. 1. Self-promotion. Self-promotion, or bragging about your accomplishments, is about attempting to impress someone. While you may think that it's a great way to get someone on your side and win them over, the reality is that most people don't like self-promotion too much. It's boring and obnoxious, plus it makes you look like you have an inflated ego. If you're going to promote yourself in some way, whether it's by talking about how great your job as an ice cream salesman is or listing every award that came with being class valedictorian, make sure not to do so at the expense of other people. Don't talk about how much better than everyone else, instead focus on showing how good you are at something. Example, cooking, or skilled at doing something, example, making jokes. 2. Being too negative. While some of these traits are more obvious than others, the fact that they're all negative is more important than their individual effects. This is because they all tie together to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you act like a negative person, other people will treat you like one. Negative people tend to be seen as less attractive, because who wants to be around someone who's always complaining? But this doesn't mean that every time someone tells you how great your hair looks and how happy they are that your dog is in remission from cancer, it means the opposite. Negative people are also more likely to have problems with relationships and jobs. Studies have shown that positive attitudes correlate with better health outcomes too, meaning that being positive can actually help keep us physically healthy and alive longer. 3. Unnecessary apologies. It's not just the obvious things, like having a pimple, or being a few minutes late for a date. Here are some more subtle things that can make you less attractive. When it's not your fault, if someone bumps into you on the street, don't say sorry. The world is full of people who bump into others accidentally, and if you're constantly apologizing for everything that isn't your fault, it makes you seem insecure and needy. When it is your fault, if someone bumps into you on the street because they didn't see where they were going, or if they get too close to the train door as they're getting off and knock over all of your belongings, it's okay to apologize in this situation. You don't want this person thinking that their actions weren't important enough to warrant an apology from someone who was affected by them. 4. Nervous habits. When you're nervous, you could be jittery or tend to fidget. This can turn off a date because it makes you look uncomfortable and nervous around them, which is unattractive. Body language. Your body language can also make it seem like you're uncomfortable in your own skin. For example, if you don't make eye contact with your date when talking, and instead look down at the floor or over their shoulder, then they may perceive that as an indication that they aren't interested in being there with them. Lack of confidence. If your words or actions come across as unsure and timid, people will think less of them. Because if someone doesn't feel confident about themselves, how can they expect other people to feel confident about them? The key here is being sure about yourself so that others will see it too. 5. Too much of a good thing. As with all things, it's possible to be too much of a good thing. You can be too funny, too sarcastic, too cute and flirt, and for that matter, you can also be too much of something negative like anger or meanness. If you're constantly joking around at work or in your daily life, people may find you annoying. On the other hand, if someone is usually very serious and professional but then makes an off-color joke at an inappropriate time, like at a funeral, they might come across as thoughtless or insensitive rather than charmingly witty. As long as it's not taken as a sign of narcissism or shallowness on your part, which it probably won't be, having confidence in yourself tends to come across well when interacting with others. It shows them that there aren't any walls between who you are and how you act. You don't try to hide parts of yourself from others because those parts aren't really worth hiding. And finally, remember, it's not just about appeasing the public. You should know that the people you interact with on a daily basis will be more attracted to you if you are confident and positive in your interactions with them. You'll also feel better about yourself when you're less stressed out by your own shortcomings or personality quirks.